Welcome to another awesome episode of Hackabilly's. Today, working on this old dirt bike. So this was the very first dirt bike that I ever bought. I ended up actually selling it to my dad when I upgraded, and it's sat for a few years, so I'm gonna see if I can get it running. So to start off, I kind of already know a few things that's wrong with this bike. Number one, it needs tubes in both the tires, especially the front one. The rear one will actually hold air for a while. Also, probably gonna need a carburetor rebuild because it's sat for so long. And the front fork seals leak. I kind of already got a start on this, and I already ordered some parts, so I'm gonna try to get a few things on today. Oh, and if you can't tell today, it's pretty cold in Indiana, and it's actually snowing today. But here's some things that I already ordered. Got 2 tubes for the front, in case, you know, accidentally pop one. I actually didn't end up getting a tube for the rear yet. Fork seals, fork protectors, and new hand grips because, well, yeah, these are kind of chewed up. So, first things first, let's see if we can kick this thing over and actually get it running right now. At least get it to fire, and then we'll start digging deeper, probably in the carburetor first. Okay, well, it'll start, but it does not want to run, so I'm guessing for sure that the idle circuit's probably clogged. So let's get the carburetor tore apart, and I've got some carb dip, and I'll get it in that and get it soaking. So I've almost got the carburetor off here. I don't know if you can, oh yeah, you can kind of see down in there. That is a pretty good sign of what I like to call varnish, basically. And yeah, that's a pretty good indication why this thing will not idle. Also, as I forgot to mention, this is a 1985 XR80. Got the carburetor off here. Got some chem dip. Probably put it in there and let it soak maybe about an hour, a couple hours or so. So that's pretty gummy. Pretty bad. It's like those floats are bent. What in the world? Never seen such a thing. So we'll pull these jets out. You can see down in here, maybe. It's pretty grimy. Pretty grimy down into here too. Alright, I got the parts in the carb dip tray. A lot of the passages actually looked clear. I was kind of surprised. However, the pilot jet I could not see through, so that would explain why it's not idling. I took all the seals off. I was actually kind of surprised I got the seal off the bowl without ripping it. Just got to be really careful. Yeah, I'll let these sit for a little bit. Hopefully that takes care of most of the gunk, at least makes it easier to clean off. I've never seen floats be bent like that. Every carb that I've ever worked on, they're level, so I don't know what kind of issues that's going to cause. So I may have to try to bend them around a little bit or something. This bike did have a little bit of trouble running before we kind of stopped riding it. It would get to about half throttle and it would spit and sputter really bad. But then once it got to the top end, like to the main jet, it would clear out and it would idle okay. So I don't know if the floats have anything to do with that. Possibly, I guess. But you would think it would affect it all the way through wide open. But try to fix that the best I can, and then may have to adjust the needle to try to clean up some of that spitting and sputtering. But who knows? May clean the carburetor and it fixes it. So check back in when these are done getting clean. Here's what we're dealing with outside. Little fellow wanted to play in the snow. So. Yeah, Winter Wonderland. Okay, I'm back. It's been a couple days. I got the carburetor back together here. May eventually have to end up getting a new carburetor. This one was a knockoff that we replaced, and that chem dip kind of ate away a little bit at the cheap aluminum. So anyway, I got some fresh gas, throw it back on the bike and see how it runs. Alright, carburetor's back on. Started leaking out of the overflow, but I tapped on it a few times. I think the float was just stuck from putting it back together. See if it fires up. Well, runs. May have to adjust it a little bit.
Daddy.
It's getting there. Well, it's not perfect, but at least it's kind of doing something. It's actually idling and stuff, so. We'll get the air filter back on, see if that helps anything out. What? You're trying to talk over me.
No.
What? You don't even know what you're saying.
No!
Hold on, you got some stuff.
This is Daddy.
So we may go ahead and try to put the tube in the front tire, and
Hi.
it's colder and all get out, but we may take it for a ride. Alright, got kind of a homemade stand set up here. I could have swore I had a stand, but I think I sold it when I sold my last dirt bike. So here we go. Got a nice new tube. And get this off of here. All I use is 2 tire spoons. Well, this is a Folgers can, but there's tire wax in there. Baby powder. I normally start by putting a little bit of air in the tube, and then get this old tire off, pull the old tube off. what's on there. Here's the moment of truth. Here's where you'll find out if you did it right or not. I don't hear any leaks. Guess I did it right. It's all back together. Now it's just time to test ride it. Well, that was a little disappointing. I brought it out here to test ride it. Granted, it is pretty cold today and a little windy, but as soon as I went to kick it, it would not start. So I think I'm done messing with it for today. Probably gonna end up with a new carburetor, and I need to get a couple new spark plugs for it. So pick back up when I got that. I'll also finish getting everything that I need to do the fork seals and the grips and whatever else I remember that was wrong with it. So yeah, bummer on that front, but we'll be riding it soon enough. A couple more days have passed, and last night Amazon brought me a brand new carburetor. And it came with a throttle cable too, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that. And 2 new spark plugs. Got to take off the tank, the seat. This is the throttle cable. Runs down through here. The carburetor. I'll get the old carburetor off. Replace the spark plug. And hopefully it'll run. I'm going to try to throw the grips on today too. Don't really have enough time to get to the fork seals today. That'll have to be another day. But hopefully today it will run and ride. Fingers crossed. Got the new carburetor on. I ended up having to use the old throttle cable because the new one was about 10 inches too long. So all I have to do now is throw some gas in the tank, put the new spark plug in, and get the grips on. Alright, so I made a couple discoveries. I kicked and kicked and kicked this thing, and it wasn't even trying to fire. So after looking at it a little more, there was a wire that had come disconnected. Because I tested for spark, no spark. Plugged that wire back in, it fired right up. However, the throttle was stuck wide open. So I ended up having to change the top of the carburetors out because the one has like a tube that's too far and it was stretching the cable too far. So change that out. Now we'll see if it fires up. Actually running halfway decent now. Well, as you can see, it runs. It still doesn't run great. Still got that popping issue and like mid throttle, so I'm thinking maybe I need to adjust the needle a little bit. Seems like it's a little lean. But yeah, we're going from hardly a running bike to almost back to good. So please drop a like on the video if you liked it. Hopefully you did, and be sure to subscribe. We've got some goals here in 2024 that we're trying to hit, so appreciate if you subscribe, and always remember to hit the bell. Ding ding ding.